Today we are here at the Oklahoma City Zoo and Botanical Garden, and joining me is one of their conservation scientists, Emily Guest. And Emily, we're here to talk about a project that you have going on. Of course, you're all about conservation. Let's talk about the monarchs and the milkweeds that you're protecting.
Yeah, so here at Oklahoma City Zoo, we have a lot of programs called Head Start programs. This is where you go out into the wild and you take the young, vulnerable stages of an animal and you bring them back to the zoo and you protect them. And then once they're past that vulnerable stage, you put them back into the wild. And we have a successful program at Tinker Air Force Base with Texas horned lizards.
Okay.
And I was interested in bringing that same idea to plants. And since the zoo is also a botanical garden, it seemed fitting to do it here. And milkweed is the host plant for monarchs, and our zoo is committed to monarch conservation, so it really fit well together.
And everybody is working on saving and preserving the monarchs right now, and it all starts with the milkweed, which there's several that are native to Oklahoma, right?
Yes, there's over 25 species of milkweeds in Oklahoma. Some are more rare and some are more common than others. We're focused on those rare plants that particularly are occurring along the edges of Oklahoma. They're kind of on the ends of their ranges, and we really want to go in, get those seeds, grow seedlings, and put them back to help bolster those populations up.
Okay, so these probably aren't ones that we're going to find just on the market. So how have you been going about collecting the seed, and what really, I mean, you've gone from southeastern to Oklahoma to northwestern Oklahoma?
Yes, so we have been working with different organizations, including the scientists and professors at Oklahoma State University, the Nature Conservancy, U.S. Forestry, and Oklahoma Department of Wildlife Conservation, to just really narrow down which species we should be focusing on. And after we decided which species those were going to be, we went to the different herbaria in the state. There's one at OSU and one at OU. And so we got historic records. And then we took those historic records, put together a team, and then just went out and searched for them on multiple trips.
So all those dried cards on herbariums that we've talked about actually came in useful for you guys in this aspect.
Yep, it was a little bit like a treasure hunt. Yeah. And they were the treasure map. And so we were trying to get back to those exact coordinates. And we had some success down in the southeastern part of the state. We found 4 species we were looking for, including a critically imperiled species, purple milkweed, for our state.
Okay, and why is it so important that you were able to collect some of that native seed from those areas?
Yeah, so seeds and plants are really well adapted regionally and locally. So if we're going to put these plants back, we want seeds that are from that area that we know are adapted to that area, that are going to do well in that climate and in that soil types. And so we're trying to get them from where they really are and then put them back there.
Okay, so where are you at in this stage? How many have you actually been able to germinate and place?
Yeah, so we've had 4 species. Each one we were successfully able to germinate. We did get more seedlings of a couple of species than others, and we're still working on increasing that success. But we had purple milkweed and tall green milkweed were pretty successful, and we were able to bring those seedlings back. And then just a few days ago, we went down to check on them, and they're still alive and they're doing really well. So we're excited to keep seeing this project grow.
Excellent. Now, tell me a little bit about your background. How did you get into this with milkweed?
Yeah, so I am an OSU alum. I got my PhD from integrative biology. I worked with Dr. Kristen Baum, who studied monarchs. So my background's in monarchs. Yeah. And of course, milkweeds come with the monarchs.
Absolutely.
And so when I became a postdoc here at Oklahoma City Zoo, I started the project, and then my position was turned into a conservation scientist position. So I get to keep working on this for years to come.
Very good. Well, I imagine it took a lot of coordination between kind of your expertise and what the zoo could also offer. Did you work with the horticulture staff in that capacity?
I did. The horticulture staff at the zoo was instrumental in this. They were not just helping grow the seeds and germinate the seeds, but they were part of the people who were going out on these trips and walking the forests and the plains, trying to find them with me. Yeah. And I know Emma from our horticulture team will be excited to talk to you more about that.
Okay, great. I'll talk with her. Thank you. Hello, Emma.
Hello.
I hear you're the one I need to talk to about the production of the milkweed that's been happening here.
Yeah, so we were really lucky to participate in this project with Emily. The horticulture staff was really excited to jump in and grow the milkweed and also help her go out there in the field and look for it. So in front of me, I have some of the tall green milkweed that we had left over. This was the one that we were able to get the most seeds of and had the most luck germinating.
Okay, so somebody gives you seeds and you just turn them into plants.
Yeah.
I know it can be a little more complicated than that. Do they need any treatment?
Yeah, so typically milkweed species are cold stratified. So in the past, we've grown other species of milkweed, you know, like your butterfly weed, your common milkweed. We've all grown those on grounds before, but these guys, to give them a little bit more of a head start, no pun intended, in the greenhouse, we did seed clipping, which is something none of the team had done before, but it was really easy. All we did was take the seeds, we had a little scalpel, we just clipped off the narrow part of the seed, and was where the root came from when we put it in water and put it in a sunny spot after that. So that just kind of accelerates the process and means it doesn't have to stay in a fridge for, 30 to 60 days.
Okay, so it's a little bit of a scarification process that you physically damage that seed coat, and then it allows it to imbibe that water then and take off. Well, it looks like you guys have had great success on that.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about, when did you start that germination process? Did you kind of do it a little bit different, obviously working with a greenhouse versus the seasons?
Yeah, so we were able to start the seeds, I believe, in March, and we have some heat mats in the greenhouse, and we put the little cups of water with the seeds in them on the heat mats, and then we get some little tweezers, and when they get that little root tail, we just come in, pick them up, and then we put them in a soil mix, and this is, I believe, half potting soil and half our zoo poo compost.
Okay.
And it did really well for the Hortella.
And are these about ready to go out, or are you going to let them grow a little bit more?
Yeah, so these are about ready to go out. This is kind of as big as we've seen them get in the greenhouse, and this is also kind of as big as we've seen them get in the field after planting them.
Okay. Well, I think it's so fascinating because I think a lot of times we just come here to, enjoy what the zoo offers here at the place, but it's really nice to know about all the conservation practices that are going on throughout the state as well. Thank you for sharing this with us. We hope you enjoyed this video as part of our Oklahoma Gardening YouTube channel. You can also find even more videos on the OK Gardening Classics YouTube channel. And join us on social media for great gardening tips, photos, and discussion.